Oh, well, I can't watch that anymore. But I get the point.
The reason we're doing this, because it is upsetting to see this, we're not trying to upset people.
No.
We're trying to get them to stop doing that. So, and the only way you can stop doing that is by going vegan. If you think it's wrong and you want to be someone who isn't hypocritical, because you called yourself a hypocrite.
Yeah, no.
Like, you wouldn't want that happening to you. Like, look, that cow's about to get bolt gunned in the head. And when all we're saying is put your hand in the super. You could go on Tesco right now, search the word vegan, find that these products that these animals are having their heads bolt gunned in for, you can literally get them. And that's what's frustrating. We're not asking much for these individuals. So we're at the Anonymous for the Voiceless event in Norwich. We're going to try and advocate to people and show them where their food comes from, where their clothes might come from, just all the different ways we can modify animals. Had some good conversations, a few trolls, but yeah, all around good.
No, I don't get it.
Well, I'll let you know. We're trying to show. Do you eat animals? That's what you pay for then. What's that? Do you know what we're showing?
Yeah, it's a bit of animal cruelty, isn't it?
Yeah, all animal use essentially. Yeah. Anything that's not vegan, that meant an animal was killed for the product. So we're trying to show people, like down this street, like they're selling animals who have been like gassed and had their throats slit. That's for bacon, and we're trying to figure out why people even pay for this in the first place. Like I paid for it one time because I thought it was socially acceptable. Like nobody told me that was bad, but nobody showed me what happened. And that's what happens. And I've literally been in farms that look like that, and it is something that you couldn't even imagine how horrible it is.
You see, that this is what happens as things. I know we've got to move forward on things, but years ago, I'm talking about like my granddad, because I grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
Never used to kill animals like that, and I'm not being funny, people eat meat, that's up to them. But they wasn't killed like that. Now, because everything's new and everything's got to get out fast, and it is cruelty the way that they do kill them now.
Yeah, obviously when you're dealing with bigger numbers, there's going to be more cruelty, more death and everything. However, I don't know if there's a nice way to kill someone.
Well, no, I mean, I admit I do eat meat. I do eat meat, and I grew up eating meat, and I won't change it, but I'm with you. So it's like I'm on the bench. The way they do it now, I don't agree with, but... So
if you, like for me, if I don't agree with something, I just like stop.
Yeah,
so you say, well, I would never. I said that actually. I used to eat like organ meats. Used to be my favourite thing in the world. And then I just saw it, and I realised that I can't justify that.
But the trouble is, I know disrespect you, it's what you're doing. You're never going to change it. You're not going to have the whole world not eating meat. It's never going to happen.
What makes you think, and if you look at history, all the things that have changed, what makes you think that wouldn't change?
Because humans always ate meat from day one, even in the cavemen times and that.
Yeah, they've always murdered each other though. Like we've always murdered each other, and though we have people who still murder people, we condemn that. We in law we see those people as disgusting. We keep them away from other people. Things are very different, and we have this issue where we can't conceptualize, like, you know, phones, all these things. When I was little, we just got a computer. The thought of having the internet in my hand wasn't even a concept.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's so wild to think something that we don't even agree with will just be abolished.
But like I said, you're not going to get everyone, you're not going to get the whole world to stop eating
But why
meat.
do we need to do that before people stop? We can't get everyone to stop murdering, but I'm not going to murder.
No.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you could have one, like I said, I'm on the bench, I'm 50-50 with you. I don't agree with that, and I know it's a bit hypocritical, but I do eat meat and I will continue eating meat.
Are there some animals you wouldn't eat? Like humans, dogs, cats?
I'm not being funny, we go forward the law and we don't know what we're eating.
Does that...
You know, if we've been told it's beef, how do we know it's not a dog or a horse or...
Well, for me, though it might make me feel a certain kind of discomfort that another might not initially, it's not any less wrong, do you know what I mean?
No. But
like
I said, everyone's got their own choice, and you're never going to stop everyone in the world. I'm with you, what you're doing, I agree with you 100%, and I know it might sound hypocritical, because I eat meat, you know, I do agree with what you coming out here and showing people, because people don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
No, they don't.
Yeah, so I'm 100% with you on that, but...
the whole thing, what you say with you're not going to get the whole world to stop, it kind of solidifies something that stops people from making that change. We are social creatures. As soon as someone says, like a society says, this is normal, then we go along with it, which is worrying because then we will refer back to things in history where historically it was a social norm for women not to be allowed to vote. Women were, they could be assaulted by their husbands until I think the 80s, and that was normal. But that meant for so long, that specific group of people, women, suffered. Just because we thought, you know what, I support, even women would be like, I support this, but I can't really do anything about it. I can't.
But that's not killing them, is it? Some people believe that if they don't have their meat and that, and then they don't want to eat veg and that, they could die. So, like I say, it's a 50-50 on the bench.
Yeah, well, just to clarify, nobody's going to die if there's no special magical ingredient in animals and their secretions that means that we would die. I've been personally vegan for 9 years, and we have literature to demonstrate that plant-based diets are actually helpful. It's all about what you eat. Like, if you want to have a crap diet, like I do eat sausage rolls and stuff like that, but vegan.
Yeah.
Or I could be healthy if I wanted to be, but at the end of the day, like, if you think it's wrong and you want to be someone who isn't hypocritical, because you called yourself a hypocrite,
no.
like you wouldn't want that happening to you. Like that cow's about to get bolt gunned in the head, and when all we're saying is put your hand in the super, you could go on Tesco right now, search the word vegan, find that these products that these animals are having their heads bolt gunned in for, you can literally get them, and that's what's frustrating. It's so we're not asking much for so much for these individuals.
Yeah.
It's
no, like I said, I eat meat. Like I agree with it. But like I said, like in some countries where you get dogs caged up and they're getting sold and they're getting thrown on the fire line, you're not going to stop it, I'm afraid.
I'm not going to stop it, but does that mean I could then eat a dog and that'd be fine?
No.
Well, exactly.
But
So
like I
that's.
said, you can put your opinion across, but you can't force people.
No, you
to stop
can't
it.
force. But what I'm saying is, when we said before, I know you're not, women weren't being killed or anything. I mean, some were, but bad things were still happening to women because it was a social norm to treat them so badly.
Yeah, but that's not to do with this.
But it's the same logic though. The logic follows. If you see something wrong and you want it to stop, you have to at the very least, opt out of it. We're just telling people to stop. We're not asking them to come out and tell other people. We're just asking.
I think that I don't agree, but I think you should have like the animals that are caged up and that, and like these foreign countries where they're thrown on the fire before you start going on. Like I said, I grew up on a farm. My granddad didn't kill his cow and his chickens like what you were showing on there, and we used to serve it for dinner.
But again, as we said, there's no nice way to do a horrible thing to an animal. We are showing animals caged up in different countries as well. We are showing what happens when we treat animals like things. They are commodities
But
to
to
us.
be quite honest, I ain't gonna. It's not going to stop in my lifetime. But
It won't stop in your lifetime. I'm sad.
I'm not going to go about. I've got my opinions. But
Well, if you ever want to see, there's a QR code. And I just say, if we want the world to be a better place, then we are a person in the world. We can make it better. And, it's not going to be better if we let people do bad things. All right? Yeah, thank you so much.
I'm sort of getting an idea though.
Yeah, so we're showing people what happens in animal agriculture. So this is for dairy currently. They're artificially inseminating the cows. And so they will have a baby. And now you see the babies being stolen from them. It's because like cows like us, they're mammals, so they're making milk for their babies, so that's why. But then they have their baby taken away because people want to drink the cow milk.
I see.
Yeah, but we can actually completely avoid that by just drinking oat milk, soy milk, all these other milks that exist. You can go in that shop right there and say, "Oh, oat latte, please," and then you don't pay for that.
I see.
Yeah. But we show more than this because obviously, animals are used in so many ways.
Aren't
we use
they?
for leather, in animal testing, in things you wouldn't even think that they're putting animals in because we're killing so many of them. It's just a cheap way of making a material. But they're not. That's a baby. That's not a material. Yeah.
Oh, well, I can't watch that anymore. But I get the point.
And the reason we're doing this, because it is upsetting to see this, we're not trying to upset people.
No.
We're trying to get them to stop doing it. So, and the only way you can stop doing that is by going vegan. That is all you can do. That. Otherwise, that carries on.
Okay.
But if you ever want to look into the vegan, and not be part of that, then there's a QR code there.
Nice
and you can look
one.
online. All right. Thank you so much.